So I'm Chris from Gold Line Cards here with Che from ENS Sports Cards, and I started doing this Sunday morning card show with my daughter. And he's like, "Hey, this sounds like a lot of fun. Let's do a Zoom call and just talk some sports cards, talk some sports. We're both Reds fans." And I thought, hey, that's an awesome idea. I'd really like to do that. So all about being part of the community, talking sports with other people. I got into sports cards collecting as a kid, trading Jim McMahon's for Roger Craig's. Even my brother even made a monster deal. He got the Jordan Fleer, and I think he gave up like a Walter Payton, a Joe Montana, and like a Dan Marino or something for it. So we used to do, backyard just trading and stuff. Went to Gill's shop back in the day here in Columbus, Ohio. Then kind of stopped collecting for a while, got back into it about 2016. And I mean, I've just got stacks on stacks on stacks of cards. One of my weaknesses is organization. I'm all about just having a good time with the hobby. My wife and kids love ripping. I like to say the day you're not having fun opening a box of cards is the day you shouldn't be doing this anymore. I know a lot of people want to do investments like this guy here. I just bought Cody Bellinger, PSA 10, paid a lot of money for it, but hey, that's a card I wanted and I'm happy with it. So that's where I'm at right now with my collecting. I like to rip boxes. I like to buy singles. Huge Broncos fan. Got a giant Drew Lock PC. My daughter's 4. She's got the biggest Jesse Winker collection according to the card database. My wife collects Joey Votto. I like Aquino. I like Lou Bob. I'm not really sure. I got like a Cardica Boom huge PC, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm really digging the Project 2020. I like to buy singles and I like to rip boxes. So what about you? What's your background over there?
That's me, man. I similar story. I started as a kid, walking from our apartment up to the corner store called Vault's Grocery. Just this little, I mean, the quintessential corner grocery store. The wood plank floors, but they always had tops. They had packs of tops. This was early to mid '80s, and just got hooked on it from that age. Just ripping. I just love, like you said, I love ripping packs. And I collected. I mean, really started getting into it in about '87 when Eric Davis took off, when he had that magical season, and I was the biggest Eric Davis fan in the world. So I started. First single I ever bought, first time I ever went to a card shop, I bought the '85 Fleer Eric Davis. Paid about 5 times for it then is what it's worth now. Used all my birthday money, bought that '85 Fleer Eric Davis. To this day, it's still my single favorite individual card that I've ever gotten. But then just spent the next 10 to 15 years just every cent of disposable income I had went on cards. Then got married, had kids. Life took me in a different direction, and I stopped collecting for 2 decades. And then just recently, I mean, like at the turn of this year, late December, early January, I started collecting again, and I'm right back in it, man. I just like you said, I love to rip packs. I don't even really collect anybody new. It's just the thrill of ripping those packs. I buy a lot of singles. Older stuff. I collect Rod Carew, Eric Davis, Tim Raines, Tony Gwynn. So I'm buying a lot of 70s and 80s singles that don't cost that much, but they mean a lot to me. I still buy the new stuff just so I can get the thrill of ripping that. I love to rip packs, and it's so fun. So, and I've kind of gotten into Project 2020. You mentioned that. Didn't get into it for the flipping craze. I just buy the ones I like. And at first I didn't get it. I didn't understand. So I was like, these are crazy. These are weird. And I saw that first Blake Jameson, Jackie Robinson, and I'm like, I get it now. I get it. I want that card. And so now I just collect. I'll buy a card every 3 weeks or so, just to get the ones that I really want.
Yeah, because they're expensive at $20 a pop unless you're buying in bulk.
Yeah.
With the 2020, I remember specifically having a conversation with my wife when they came out. They had a Topps Living Set, Aristides Aquino, and they had the Ichiro 2020. We were just debating over lunch one day which one we should get, and we went with the Aquino. That Ichiro's going for $5,000 right now.
Yeah.
I'm buying because I like them, but $500 is $500. If I can get it, I'm getting it, so
Right. Yeah.
I'm really digging on how you said that you collect the cards that mean something to you. So, for me, I like to collect, everyone's high on Zion Williamson because he's just incredible, but I like collecting the ones in the Duke jerseys. They're not valuable according to eBay or Twitter
Yeah.
prices, but they're valuable to me.
I hate to interrupt. I hate to interrupt you, but I'm exactly the same way. And for me, Benny Snell Jr. played for the Kentucky Wildcats a couple of years back. Now with the Steelers. I have bought so many of the National Treasures jersey cards of him in a UK jersey, and they're not worth anywhere near what they are in a Steelers jersey. But I have no interest in the ones in the Steelers jersey. Really, I want those ones in that UK jersey, and I bought. Thankfully, those are less expensive than the ones in the Steelers jersey because that's not what people want, but that's what I want.
Well, let me tell you that Benny Snell Jr. went to high school about 2 miles from here at Westerville Central. So maybe I can get, I know some coaches over there, see if I can get in contact with them and hook you up with an auto or something from them.
That'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we've got 3 high schools in my town. I went to Westerville South, there's Westerville North, and Westerville Central came after I graduated, and he went to Westerville Central. So he's from my town. So I know some football coaches over there. I'll see if I can hook you up with an auto from him.
That'd be awesome, man. He's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, he just came into the league. I mean, down in Kentucky, he broke all kinds of records. Yeah. It's like, people can go to Ohio State, UCLA, sit the bench for a couple years and have one monster season and get picked 5th overall.
Yeah.
Or you can go to Kentucky, start all 4 years, learn, maybe get picked a little later, and then still have an amazing career. So it just, different strokes for different folks, different career paths to get there. But, ultimate goal is to get to the NFL for these guys. So,
absolutely.
So there it is. And you mentioned the Eric Davis, and one opening day, I'm sitting there with my dad. We go every opening day. He's sitting there in this bar in this blue crushed velvet like tuxedo, and it was the coolest thing. And I'm like, "Can I buy you a beer?" He's like, "Nah, man, I'm buying you a beer." So there's like 4 people at this place because he was having an event there, and it just hadn't started yet. We're just hanging out having a beer with Eric Davis, and me and my dad and I, and it was just awesome.
Oh, I bet, man. I can't imagine. He's my favorite.
Cody Larkenbinder? I mean, all he does is collect Barry Larkin cards, and he's got thousands. So I think that's super cool. So I know my daughter's got over 300 Winkers. I know over 100 of them are different. I'm a huge Senzel guy, so just the Reds, we love them. Right here on my desk, I got my broken Joey Votto bobblehead. And I got my Mr. Sabo here because this was my guy back in the day.
There you go.
Mr. Sabo. You like Davis? I like Sabo. So now we're on the topic of the Reds. What do you think about the current season right now?
Oh, man. Well, first, I can't watch them. I live in Lexington. I'm an hour south.
Roller coaster.
I'm blacked out on it's so frustrating. I have not seen any live Reds action all year. So that's kind of that's a lot frustrating. And so I haven't followed them as closely as I would like to because it's just, I can't really be at the radio listening to it, and it's just not the same. But man, what are we gonna do?
Same without Tom, right?
Yeah. Tom's
Marty.
gone. Yeah, so
Marty.
Tom's still doing some things, but this bullpen, man. I mean, Michael Lorenzen, what's he got, a 12 ERA? They've blown 3 saves out of 4.
And this was supposed to be the year that he had the breakthrough, and they just sent down TJ Antone, who's been the only highlight of the bullpen, and then comes in and starts and does amazing. Hey, let's send him down with Van Meter, who's hitting 0 for the year. So, but hey, I do have a Fox Sports Go login that maybe I could share with you. You could watch some games. So
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
But I think the hitting, besides Castellanos, who I believe has a hit in every single game. I'm not sure if he got one last night, but 7 home runs, leading the National League. I mean, possible MVP and then possible Cy Young with Sonny Gray.
Oh, yeah, he's going today, right? Sonny's on the mound today, right?
Yeah, Sonny's pitching today. Bauer and Castillo. Castillo's a little off so far, but he's traditionally slow starter, but that changeup's unhittable.
Yeah.
If he can start throwing that. And then Disco yesterday, holy moly.
Yeah.
And Malley, I mean, we might have the best rotation in baseball. So we're set up for the postseason, especially those. I believe they got 3-game series now as the play-in because they got 16 teams, and then 5 games and 7 games. I mean, I still think it's the Dodgers because they're just so talented, but they're not off to the greatest start. But the Reds with their starting pitching, if they can go deep in the game and just get to like a Garrett, and Iglesias has long said that he's got the adrenaline in the ninth and he doesn't want to pitch in the 8th, and that's when he's been getting rocked. So I think he's the most talented pitcher they have, but he's not that good. And I think there's a huge difference. He's got the talent, but he's got to come up big in games. So I like how they've been rotating. They moved Votto back to 3 and Castellanos up to 2. They've had different people lead off with Irvin, Senzel, Akiyama. Big fan of Akiyama. Huge fan. Like, I want to snap up all of his cards. I think I got like 3, but I'm going to hit up eBay today because we got this 3-day sale going on. I'll have some PayPal money. So maybe get some Castellanos rookies because they're going for nothing. So I think something else. How long do you think Votto's got left?
I don't know. How old is he?
He's 35 or 6 because I remember looking the other day and I got extremely depressed because I'm older than every single Cincinnati Reds player for the first time in my life. And then I had to go cry in the bathroom for half an hour. No, I'm just kidding. But I think he's 35 or 36. But reason I ask is because Rhys Hines is right behind him. And he's a 3B, but, so was Senzel, and they moved him to center. Suarez was a shortstop, and they moved him over to third, and no one's taking Suarez's job.
Right.
So I think Rhys Hines might be the next guy over at first base to come in for Votto because you see some of his balls he's hitting at the what were they called, the offsite? I'm not sure their term for the but he is just mashing, and they right now the Reds got Nick Lodolo as the number 1 prospect, which I think it should be Hunter Green because he's just nasty, and then Hines I think right behind Jonathan India. So they've got a good farm system coming up because Castellanos is on 4 years, but he can opt out. And if they're not winning, I mean, let's face it, it's a capitalistic market. He's probably going to. There's no money,
there's no money there.
Cap. So
that's
I like the future of it. Like you said, it's a roller coaster season. So we'll see what happens.
Get that bullpen shored up. I mean, get some stability there. And I came into the season just pumped. I mean, I was so excited, more excited than I've been in a long time for a Reds team. So so far with not being able to watch them and the performance of the bullpen has been it's been a letdown, but there's still hope.
This is the most excited I've been since I think 2014. I know they went to the playoffs in 12 and 13, but I still watch them every day, every time I can. I'm gonna watch them with my kids this afternoon. I think they got 2:00 game, which might be 1:00 here, but Gray's back on the mound. They mentioned some stat while Bauer was pitching. It's the first time in the first 3 starts that a Reds pitcher's got 30 strikeouts. But he's got such a high pitch count. He can only go through 5 or 6 innings, but he's also, wanting to pitch every 4th game, and he likes the high pitch count. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited to see what's going on. But at the same time, it's like, I need some blood pressure medication because it's like, hey, we're up by 7, no runs, no leads, safe, so.
Yeah. So have you been able to pick up any Topps Chrome?
I did. I got 5 hangers, and I hit a Luis Robert refractor that I already sold for $150, so I got my money back. I got a Brian Reynolds negative, which my buddy Chris in Pennsylvania hit a Senzel negative. So we're going to do a straight up trade because, Senzel's my dude and he's a big Pittsburgh fan. Of course, I buy the cards. I open nothing. My wife, Becky, opens the cards. She just pulls straight fire. So she got all the Aquinos, the Kyle Lewis, Bo Bichette. She pulled the Lou Bob refractor, and I pull, I don't know, Javier Baez and Yadier Molina. So, but
I was
then
fortunate
again,
enough. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did you get to pick up any?
Yeah, I went to a couple Walmarts on Friday. The first one got there at about 9:30, and the shipper was already empty. So at some point I'd already missed it. So I just shot over to a Walmart in the next town over, about 15 minutes away, and actually caught the lady from MJ Holdings stocking the shelf. So I was able to pick up a few hangers and a few cellos. I didn't wipe it out. I left some for the kids. But no, I picked up a few blasters, a few cellos, and a few hangers. I got a Lubob refractor as well, and
Nice.
a couple of bass. Got a Acuna reverse negative, and
Oh, that's
then
nice.
yeah,
I
and
bet
then
that's beautiful.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. So, but man, it's just finding product at retail right now is just it's insane.
Yeah, this is the I had Thursday off work. We were supposed to go to the Hall of Fame game, and then yesterday was the induction. Steve Atwater is going to get inducted. My dad and I were going to go, but obviously that's canceled, so I kept my days off work. And we're over at my buddy's house checking out. My daughter really loves sunflowers, so he's got the sunflower garden. And then Becky, my wife's like, "Hey, I need some Pepsi. Let's go to Walmart." So I go to Walmart Thursday night at like 8 o'clock, and it closes at 8:30. And bam, there's 2 blasters of Bowman and 5 hangers of there's like 10 hangers of Chrome, but I took 5 because I'm never gonna be the guy who takes them all either. And then Friday I go back and it's like, oh, if they're there, I'll take them. And there's 6 megas of optic. I take one. Guy behind me is like, "Hey, you gonna take any more?" No, takes all of them.
Yeah.
And different strokes for different folks. He might be selling them, might be out of a job, might need money. He might rip them all. Never going to judge anybody for what they do. That's just what I do. I pick up the cards I want. And, if I want to sell a box, it's probably going to be for cost to a buddy who can't find them, or I'm going to rip them because I really enjoy ripping cards.
So me being new, I just got back into this, like I said, late December, early January. How long has this phenomenon been going on where you cannot get product at retail?
I'd say February or March since like the lockdown. I mean, once the Prism basketball was done, because there's a time you can go to Walmart and just find Prism blasters. Like the very first card my daughter ever opened in her entire life was a Zion Williamson Prism.
Wow.
I ended up trading that away like a fool, and the guy came back like, "Hey, he got a graded PSA 10. Good for you. Awesome. Really happy for the guy." But kind of salty for me. But
yeah,
I think right around then it was, Panini and Topps had to shut down their production for a while. And we all know if you're in the 2020 right now, they're shipping like, I don't even know, like card 100 about now, and they're selling almost 200, and they're
it's like
saying
190. Yeah, I got my 100 on Friday. I got my trout. I got my trout number 100 on Friday.
Your baller Jameson trout, is that the one?
Yeah.
And so, with the delays and everything, I think that's a huge part too. And just the hobby boxes are unreal. Went to the local card shop, and I worked a bunch of overtime, specifically, we have our budget in our family. I said, "Hey, I'm going to work these 2 days outside of our budget so I can go buy myself a hobby box." Wife's like, "That's a great idea. You deserve it. Go work these hours." I did. And I get there and I can't even afford a hobby box. And so with the prices being the way they are, everyone wants retail. Then all you see on Twitter is people, $20 blaster, hey, 40 shipped.
Yeah.
But there's people who are going to buy it because they can't find it where they're at.
Yeah.
So I think, that's part of the problem, but also there's no solution to that because there's so many people out of a job right now. I just don't think they're putting enough product back on the shelf. I mean, right now people are flipping Prestige. Anytime in your entire life has anybody flipped Prestige?
No, I mean
that's the one you find on the shelf like always.
Yeah.
People are being able to flip it. So I really noticed right about this time they started shutting down and we went on quarantine that people are unemployed getting that extra $600 a week or a month. I'm not sure what it is because I'm not unemployed, so I didn't really look at it too hard. And I try to keep out of all that stuff because I don't know, it's infuriating to me to read this, that, the other. Everybody's on one side or the other, so I just try to stay out of it. But
that's why I started.
When I noticed it. And then the hot products just decided to all come out at the same time. They had Series 1 you can kind of find, Series 2 you can kind of find. Then everybody's looking for Robert in Series 2. Then Topps Chrome obviously is a huge product. Sapphire is a huge product. So you just can't find anything. Every once in a while, you see on Twitter people dropping basketball optics I mean, if you hit a Zion Prism, you're looking at $200 right there. A Jaw 140. You get them graded, they're going to be $1,000 easy. You get an autograph. I mean, those could be life changing money.
Yeah.
So that's that's when I really noticed it. What about you? I'm rambling on. Sorry, I don't drink coffee. I'm on cup 2 because we just did coffee and cards with Chris. So
Yeah.
I'm getting hyped up right now.
Yeah. I first started. I was buying some football, and like I said, I started buying packs. It was about January. I started buying packs. And I started off with Prism football. I really liked Prism football, so I was buying those. And those I could find those almost every time I went. But it seemed like I didn't know if this was every year, if it was just a Zion thing or COVID, or just this perfect storm of everything. It just got to be where you couldn't find anything. I mean, probably February, March. I just could not find anything. And my job takes me to sometimes 3, 4, 5 different Walmarts a day. I'm a vendor.
Wow.
And I work for an electronics manufacturer, so I have to go to Walmart's, Targets, Best Buys, Meijer, places like that to check on my product and do merchandising and stuff. So I'm in those places a lot, and I was just like, I noticed every time I went, there's nothing there, and without fail, when I walked over to check, there would be 1, 2, 3 more guys in the 5 minutes while I was there, walking up to check, and I was like, this is insane. This is crazy. Yeah. So.
I've got a Walmart about 2 minutes from my house, 3 Targets within 5 miles or so. I don't really check very often, but with 2 small kids, hey, you need diapers, hey, you need formula. So, I'll check the aisles when I go over, but it's very rare for me to go on, except for when the Chrome came out, or when I saw the optics were dropping, to actually go specifically for cards. But of mine, this last time when I saw the guy clean out all the optic baseball, that was the first time I saw people hanging out. But you see pictures on Twitter with 5 or 6 guys just waiting in line for the distributor to come, and it's just, I've never seen anything like it in my life until January. I might be wrong, and there might be other people who've seen it, but that's just my personal experience.
Well, like you said a moment ago, I don't see it ending. Eventually the bubble will burst, but right now it's kind of a self-perpetuating thing, because the people can flip it. So, even if last year at this time, I would think the normal collector, if they went and they saw 30 blasters on the shelf, it would not cross their mind, I need to buy all 30 of those right now. They might buy, 2 or 3. But now, with knowing that you might not ever see them again, or it might be 6 weeks until you see another one, and knowing that you can flip it, or sell it to your friends or your buddies, like my brother collects too. So, there might be times where I can go and pick up double what I was going to pick up and sell them to him at cost. But it's just, as long as that keeps happening, it's going to drive the perception of more demand, and there is more demand and less supply. But it's just, it's a wild ride right now. It's crazy.
That's a really good point you brought up. Is when I went and bought that optic, it wasn't to open that day. My wife and I ended up opening it last night because we just can't hold on to stuff. You got the jimmies, But it was like, hey, I don't know the next time I'm gonna see something in the store, so I'm gonna get it now. For next time. Or with the Chromes, obviously I wanted to rip right away, and I ended up waiting until this morning for our coffee show. But that's a great point. Is, hey, I'm gonna buy 5 or 6 of them because I don't know the next time I'm gonna find some. So maybe I open one now, one next week. Whenever you're getting the itch to open one. That's something I hadn't even thought about. So I might start doing that instead of just getting one box, getting a couple, because you go months without having anything to open unless you buy the $1.25 opening days or
opening
something.
Day,
like just to scratch that itch. But
guilty. I did it. I bought several opening days simply because that I would just, like I said earlier at the beginning, I buy new products. I just love to rip. So I bought way too many opening day just to have something, because it was the only thing on the shelf. I went, I might, at that time, you could still hope to find optic or prism basketball. When the opening day came out, it was still when the optic and prism basketball were out. So I was like, I want to rip something, so I guess I'll buy these opening day. So I've got way too many of those.
Yeah. But hey, go back, look through them, find a Luis Robert.
I did. There was none in there.
I bought a $1.20, or actually $2.25 packs at my local card shop 2 weeks ago, and got one. So
really,
Yeah,
Congrats,
250
man.
in cards and got one immediately. Went right up on eBay. I don't really like selling Twitter for that high of a card.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd rather go to eBay. I know a lot of people say, the card came damaged. I got to send it back. I got to do this. I've never had a problem with anybody. I try to take pictures. I know I had a dinged corner. Took a picture of the corner. Put right in the description, hey, it's got a dinged right corner. See the pictures for description because this is how the card is. This is what you're bidding on is this condition of this card.
Yeah, same here. I mean, just be open and honest in the description. I take close-ups, but also I've never ever had a problem with returns. I've had a couple. I've got about 300 sales. I've had a couple of returns, but I think when you get into the pre-sales and the really volatile like the product, that's when the returns are going to happen.
Yeah.
Is if you're selling like solid established product that the price is pretty solid. You're not going to have that many returns. But if you're doing those pre-sales and stuff, that's pretty dangerous. And we saw that earlier in the year.
Yeah, and talking about the pre-sales, do you want to get into the Project 2020?
Sure.
Some notes I took. I'm gonna look over here. My notes is so right now I've got Ben Baller as the highest selling artist, Mike Trout as the highest selling player. And I do need to say that this information is coming from CRT Sports Cards.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah,
he's awesome. Recent comps we've got or recent print runs. The Blake Jameson Ted Williams at 46.84, Gregory Siff Willie Mays 38.58. The highest at the height back in May, Keith Shore 99,177. So now we're seeing print runs back under 4,000, even under 2,000, and saw some comments on there that if you really might have a better chance of getting the 101 Project 2020 than you do a Trout auto out of Chrome or a really good autograph out of a product. Because if you're a 1 and say we'll just take the 38.58, you've got 1 in 38.58 to get the 101. That's a way better chance than you're going to get a 101 ripping a hobby box.
Absolutely.
So do you think that brings people back, or it's just the people who want the cards? I was talking to Watch the Breaks about it. How many percentage of the cards are the artists buying because they're selling autographs on their site?
Yeah.
Same with the players like Dwight Gooden. He's my all-time favorite player, so I'm super fired up for the Blake and Dwight card. And I talked to Blake because he's just an awesome person. You and I have spoke about it many times.
Oh, absolutely.
He said him and Doc are going to sign a card for me.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah.
Just made my entire day. He said they're going to sell them on dual autos on their website, or if I want to buy one from Doc and send it to him, he'll do it. Or I don't know if I should say on here that he's going to send me one because I actually don't know that, if for free or whatever. But either way, I'm going to get a Dwight Gooden, Blake Jameson autograph 2020 card.
That makes perfect sense because throughout this, Doc has been absolutely the most active player in Project 2020. And Blake has been the most, his whole marketing team, he has done it perfectly in marketing himself and his team, whether it's on Twitter or on YouTube. So the two of those together have been the two, I think, best at interacting with fans. So to hear that they're going to do that together makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I know I've seen you in the streams making comments. Blake goes live, every night, 10:23 p.m.?
Every night at 10:23.
Mondays, he does mail days. We sent him some Claire cards. He opened them up, was super excited. She just loves it when people say her name on there. And then he gives away cards. He sends people stuff all the time, just out of his own pocket. He's got to be making a ton of money on this. Oh,
a Claire card right there. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But I also like Ben Baller's. He's really active on Twitter. I don't follow all of the artists, so I can't comment, but Baller's out there pushing, but no one's pushing, like you said, like Blake or like Dwight Gooden. I haven't seen a single thing from Nolan Ryan or Trout or Ichiro, but I think my personal favorite card at the moment is the Blake Jameson Ichiro.
Yeah, I'm ordering every Blake Jameson because I like his style. That Ichiro kind of veered from the style that he's been using, but it was still an amazing card. I like that one a lot. My favorite so far is still I love the Robinson by Blake. The Ricky, just those colors, that green and yellow, just
Yep.
that classic iconic card. Love that one.
I got that
Um,
card right back here. See, I think with the Ichiro, he might have done a little different because with the McGuire, I know he got a little flack because the flag's not flown properly. Yeah. And I know some people are up in arms about that. And he actually addressed them and said, it's artist rendition of it. He means no disrespect or anything. So then I noticed on the Ichiro card when he had the two flags, it was flown properly, which I don't know if he even knew how to fly a flag properly. I don't know much about him as, a human being other than what I see, but I do know that he got a bunch of flack for, obviously on the card too, there's no room to have the stars on the left. They got to be on the right.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But a lot of people were not happy about that because they consider that disrespecting the American flag. So that's one thing. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw the Ichiros. Hey, I wonder if he, was actually thinking about that or not, or just having it, making the two flags in there. But I just thought that was a beautiful card. I don't have it yet, but I ordered it.
And, I don't have it either. I ordered it too.
And like you said, like at the moment, I'm ordering the cards that I like. And for myself, I've got, I don't know, maybe 30 in my stack over here. But then again, like I said before, $200 is $200. If I can sell and get $200 for it, I'm probably going to. But at the prices they're going for now, that's just not going to happen.
No,
who knows what this is going to be in 10, 15 years, because nothing like this has ever happened before. Because when Ben Baller came in, he brought over his sneaker heads, his jeweler heads, and all that. And then you've got actual artists who like the art. And they've inspired everybody. Blake inspired my kid to start making Claire cards. And I see other people making art cards. And I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's 5 or 6 other Gypsy Oaks ones.
Gypsy Oak, Mark Mosley, he goes by I Draw baseball cards. I've gotten several things from him. Gypsy Oak, I've got him on my wall 3 or 4 different times, with more on the way. Project 2020 has really changed.
Yeah.
Probably the lack of retail available, not being able to go buy a card and rip cards. Led to it, and then just the interactions with Blake Jameson and falling in love with his style and his cards led me to almost an entirely new style of collecting for a couple months. I was buying
absolutely
so much more art than I was cards. Well, there was no cards to buy, but I've enjoyed it, and I've added so much uniqueness to my collection that I wouldn't have had otherwise, and I'm happy it happened.
Do you have a special display or plan on a special display just for Project 2020?
I do.
I don't, but I've been thinking about how I'm going to. I don't think card stands do it justice at all. So I'm thinking about, we got a curio cabinet upstairs I want to bring down and put with my like PC cards and have them somehow displayed in there. And I know some people, Breaks and Bros, my buddy, he's got awesome display cases for his bobbleheads that he got from IKEA. So I'm thinking about getting those, but I really have no idea how to display these. Like right now I got them in a stack, but I need them out so people can see because they're just beautiful, like you said, they're not a card, they're art, and art generally appreciates. So, I'm excited to see where the rest of the Project 2020 goes. I think the print runs, like I said, the last one was about 3,000. So I think they're going to go back up, because they went through the hype, they went through the flippers, and now it's the collectors.
Well, it's going to be, people are saying, oh, they're back down to 3,000, so they'll probably be worth more, so I'm going to go buy them. And I think, we're just going to, I don't think it'll ever spike at 100,000 like the Griffey Shore, but I think just the natural ebb and flow, there will be the flippers out there. Now it's just the collectors buying right now. So the flippers are going to see, oh, the print runs are low again. They're starting to, those are going to be more valuable, and they'll probably start buying more, and just the print runs will go back up. So, but in the long term, I think 10, 15 years down the road, it's going to be a beautiful set. I mean, the entire set is going to be, I won't have it, but, I'll have my entire set of what I want. And, I'm planning on building a display case. You're asking that, especially for those cards to have on display at all times.
So do you think There'll be a Project 2020 for different sports or 2021 for baseball. I mean, imagine if they did this for football and you're getting Tom Brady's and Zeke, or throwback to John Elway, Brett Favre, Johnny Unitas rookie cards, or Walter Payton's. I mean, how just wow, just think about that. Because I know
Yeah.
Topps isn't in baseball cards anymore, but say Panini goes and does it, or another company, Don Russ, like.
I'm sure there'll be some sort of copy. I don't know if obviously Topps can't do it; they don't have the license. But it'd be pretty cool. It would be really cool. So.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in my head, I saw that Blake did the Zion Williamson picture that he, gave to him while he was at Duke. And that's just, wow, I would love to have that on my wall, but I don't have $15,000 for
Right,
it.
yeah.
Art's expensive, but the basketball, if you had Jordan and Bird and Magic and Dr. J and, Zion, Ja, just Timmy Duncan, Robinson, Clyde, imagine Dominique Wilkins from the dunk contest with it through the legs, or Isaiah Ryder.
Oh, I'll be all over a Sean Kemp, a nice Sean Kemp dunking. Yeah.
Oh, Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
I
He had some
had
of
my
the best
Sean Kemp
cards.
card sitting right here earlier, but it's not here. I wanted to show you, but yeah, I just think going forward, hopefully they get them all shipped out by 2020. I don't think they'll do a 2021. I think it was just a special 2020 kind of thing. And unfortunately with the coronavirus, they were behind. I know I've got some good Ultra Pro one touches. I've got some really crappy snap together ones, but overall I've seen some people get damaged cards. All of mine have come solid except for like two. I believe you sent me the McGuire that I had damaged, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's, I don't think they'll do a 2021 like you said, but that would kind of I think that would devalue the 2020. I hope they don't. I hope they don't do a 2021. I hope that they let this one stand alone for a while, maybe revisit it 5 years down the road and do a 2025.
Yeah, I think more than 5 years, because Trout's the only current player. So if you go maybe 20 years down the road and all of a sudden you got Mookie Betts and Bellinger, Verlander, Garrett Cole, maybe have a whole new generation, maybe add Barry Bonds, some other guys that weren't included, because there are a lot of iconic rookie cards that, weren't included for whatever reason.
Right.
But who's going to be the next awesome player? So maybe every 50 years they do it, every 20 years. I don't know. I don't work for Topps, but I'm enjoying it. And like you said, it's a whole different way of collecting. You get and right now too, with them coming months later, I open a package from Topps. I got no idea what's inside. So it's almost like ripping new cards. So
yeah, it's true.
I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we've gone over our planned 20 minutes, but
definitely.
This has been fun. We have to do it again next week.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to make this a weekly thing. I know a lot of people hit me up on Twitter once you commented about it, saying they'd like to be guests. So maybe that's something we can talk about in the future, is having, guests on here.
Absolutely.
But I'd like to make this a weekly thing for me and you. Talk some cards, talk some Reds, talk some just
life.
Yeah. Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
Yep. All right, man. Thanks again.
Yep. Take care. Have a good day.
All right.
Peace
Talk to you
and
later.
love.